Okay, so welcome to the other navigation video, which is now using Blender's navigation tools. So again, the purpose of having two of these is just to figure out which navigation style you prefer, and then you can use that for the rest of your 3D modeling time. So to begin with, of course, we want to change the key map if you haven't already. So make sure we go to Edit, go to Preferences, and we go to Key Map at the bottom here. And if it's already on industry compatible, change it to Blender. And there we go. So to begin with, to navigate, to rotate around the 3D space, obviously compared to the industry compatible key map, we'd use Alt and middle mouse. For Blender, for the Blender key map, we just hold down the middle mouse, and there we go. We're orbiting around the space. Again, feel free to use the gizmo in the top right to do that. That is how you navigate around the space. It's as simple as using a middle mouse. So, the next thing, of course, is to scale, rotate, and translate our object. So we're going to go to Add, we're going to go to Mesh, and we're going to go to Cube, and we're going to add another cube in. So, of course, scrolling in and out is the same. It's universal, thankfully. Okay, so as you can see, once you press the middle mouse, we're obviously orbiting, but we're not actually moving around the space. So, there's a couple ways we can do this. So, the most straightforward way is by just holding this grab icon and we click that down and we can move around the workspace like this, but obviously that can maybe get a bit annoying, a bit tedious. So the way of using hotkeys to rotate around the space is by holding down Shift, and then once you've held down Shift, you use the middle mouse button, and there we go. We're now moving and rotating around the workspace. Simple as that. Excellent. So now that leads us on to scaling, rotating, and translating the shape. So this can be perceived as an easier way to kind of memorize. Again, if you want to go the route of each hotkey is a word and that word is associated with moving it. So to move our object, we're going to click on it, and then to move it, we're going to press G. So I assume like G for grab, and we're just going to move it along here. And that's as simple as that. But what's interesting about the Blender key map is that there's a bit of kind of combinations to use for key maps. So if we press G, but then you want to move this alongside the y-axis. Well, what you do, you press G, and then you press Y as well, and that now only locks it to the y-axis, and so that won't move freely. So if we just press G, that's going to move kind of quite chaotically, but if we press G then Y, that's going to move alongside the y-axis. And the same thing goes for obviously the x-axis, it locks it back and forth, and of course the z-axis. So you're pressing GX, GY, GZ to move it alongside the axis of your choice. And of course, snapping still works. So if we want to do G and Z, that snaps it alongside the grid, however you want to have it. Excellent. So there you go. So that is moving moving a primitive shape. So now we go into scaling, which again is quite an easy thing to remember. It is S. So think S for scale, S for sizing. That is how you move it up. So you just press S, and obviously you'll have this dotted line. You just move your mouse up, you move your mouse down, and that makes it bigger or larger. And of course, the same thing goes with the kind of axis thing I was showing. So we press S, then we press X. That's only going to scale it alongside the X axis. We press S and then Y, only alongside the Y axis, and then we press S and then Z alongside the Z axis. Except this one seems a bit more finicky. There you go. That's now scaling. So we've done moving, we've done scaling, and lastly, it is rotating. So with rotating, again, it's quite easy. It's R for rotate, which is dead simple. And of course, the same thing. So we press R, press X, that rotates it. So, and of course, we press R, and then we press X. That only moves it alongside the X-axis. See, if I try and go left and right or up and down, it doesn't really work. So then we press R and Y. It does the same thing. Can't move it up or down. And of course, R and Z, it only lets us move around like that. So there you go. So that is now scaling, rotating, and translating. And that is also navigation of the Blender space. So as you can see, this was a much quicker video, as it's much easier to remember. And the whole point of this, like I said, is to figure out what you find yourself more comfortable with. So have a play around, kind of start navigating, use them tools, use the rotate, scale, and translate, and just kind of figure out what you feel comfortable with. And feel free to obviously switch between the two. You're not locked to any. It's just more, again, an exploration and trying to figure out what works best for you.